Hi, I'm Scott Olson, co-founder of LTCshop.com and author of Long-Term Care Insurance Now. When does the word guaranteed mean not guaranteed? Now, if you've read my book or if you've listened to my podcasts, you know that in my experience, if you ask 20 investment advisors for a quote and information on long-term care insurance, 19 of them will give you a quote and information for life insurance. And that's what happened here. This particular woman, age 59, asked her investment advisor for quotes and information on long-term care insurance. What she got was a quote for life insurance. A quote for life insurance is called an illustration. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with buying life insurance for the purpose of funding future long-term care expenses. Lots of people do that, but it's usually not the best way. And in some cases, it can be a horrible way to plan for long-term care. And I'll show you why. It's all about the guarantees. I'm going to say that again. It's all about the guarantees. When does guaranteed really mean not guaranteed? Well, let's look at this illustration this advisor gave to his client. The name of the policy is Guaranteed Whole Life. It must be guaranteed, right? Well, it could be, but that's not what the advisor showed her. Now, how could an investment advisor show a quote for a guaranteed life insurance policy, but it's not really guaranteed? Well, what this advisor did was throw out most of the illustration. This advisor only showed her 2 pages of the illustration, pages 18 and 19. At the very bottom of both pages, it says, "This life insurance illustration is not valid without all pages." Why would he give her only pages 18 and 19 of a 24-page illustration? Because pages 18 and 19 show the non-guaranteed values. This is a guaranteed whole life policy, but the advisor didn't show her the guaranteed values. He just showed her projections of what might happen with the policy. On those 2 pages that he gave her, the death benefit, the cash value, the potential long-term care benefits are not guaranteed. Even the premiums are not guaranteed. So when you're considering buying a life insurance policy as a means to fund future long-term care expenses, make sure you're looking at the guaranteed values, the guaranteed premiums, the guaranteed death benefit, the guaranteed long-term care benefits. This advisor did not show anything that was guaranteed. What's even worse is that this policy's non-guaranteed values were not very good anyway. This advisor was proposing that she pay $15,000 per year for 10 years for a $350,000 death benefit, a portion of which could be used for long-term care. Now, keep in mind, she wanted long-term care insurance, not life insurance. So what could she have gotten if this advisor was focused on finding a policy for her that had rich long-term care benefits? Well, for $15,000 per year for 10 years, which is a lot of money, she could get a lot of long-term care benefits. She could get a long-term care policy that would start off with over $650,000 of long-term care benefits. And those benefits would be guaranteed to grow to over $1.2 million of long-term care benefits by age 80. And the benefits would continue to grow every year by 3%, guaranteed. Every year until she passed away. If she lived to age 90, the policy would have over $1.6 million of long-term care benefits, guaranteed. That's almost 5 times more benefit than what her advisor was showing her. And if she never needed long-term care, her heirs, with the policy that I would recommend for her, if she never needed long-term care, her heirs would receive back $148,000 of the $150,000 she put into the policy. And again, all of these figures are 100% guaranteed. And this is what an illustration should look like. All of the pages, and the table on page 8 says very clearly that these values are guaranteed if the annual premiums are paid as planned. If your purpose is to plan and prepare for future long-term care expenses, you should only buy a policy based upon the guaranteed values. I can't imagine anything worse than buying a life insurance policy to fund future long-term care expenses and pay the premiums on time every year. And then years later, when it's time to use the policy, I find out that the benefits I thought I had are not guaranteed. It's too late to get another policy at that point. That's why if you're buying some type of life insurance-based product to fund future long-term care expenses, make sure the policy has these guarantees. Make sure it's guaranteed to remain in force to at least age 100, preferably age 120. Make sure that the premiums on the premium schedule are guaranteed level. They're guaranteed to never go up. Make sure that the long-term care benefits are at least twice the death benefit, preferably 3 times the death benefit or 4 times the death benefit. And make sure that the long-term care benefits are guaranteed to grow every year, preferably by 3% compound or more. And make sure the long-term care rider is a 7702B rider. If you've asked your investment advisor for information on long-term care insurance, and if he or she gave you an illustration for life insurance, please contact me. I will review it for you at no charge, and I'll help you determine if that particular policy meets all 5 of those criteria. Thanks.